Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shayna if you are new here, and if you're not new here, then welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about different things that I knew at 18 that I now know at 25. If you guys did like today's video, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you are new, please subscribe to the channel. It is always appreciated. And make sure you guys hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload each and every week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much. Bye guys. Number one is not everyone is your friend. Like as you get older, you obviously realize that not everyone has good intentions as your friend, and that's okay. But you also have to realize, for your safety as well, that some people will take the chance of you being gullible and like naive at that age to try to get one up on you, especially trying to be your friend and trying to see like what they could potentially get out of you, because you never know what type of leverage they're trying to have with you. And sometimes you have to, put your boundaries down, because not everyone is going to be your friend at that age, or even from that age group of being 18 to 21. You kind of make rash decisions sometimes, and sometimes these friendships form like naturally, but sometimes they can be forced as well. And you just need to be vigilant about who you're allowing into your space and into your energy, because you cannot always take back those things, and you cannot always easily end those friendships as easily as you began them. Number two is comparison. I honestly feel like comparing yourself to people, it's so hard to not compare yourself to people. And unfortunately, we do it, especially at that age, because as women, we can be so insecure and so, wanting to fit in and wanting to look this certain way. And you start to compare yourself to like, this girl has a bigger butt, this girl has bigger boobs, or she's curvier than me and I'm skinny, or I have fat here that she doesn't. But you don't know behind the scenes if people have gotten work done, what kind of workout routine they're on. And not every workout routine or surgery is going to look the same on each and every woman, because there's no thing I think wrong with getting surgery. If you feel like you want to get surgery, you have the money to pay for it, that's your body. Do what makes you happy and makes you feel comfortable at the end of the day. But also don't try to look like someone else because you think that your body is going to look like that when you get those procedures done, because it may not be the same exact effect when you are getting your body done or you're getting a certain procedure, because everybody's body is built differently. Just like with working out, like you may not always get the same results that the same, that person that you wanted to look like, you may not get the same results as that person. I also speak about comparison in the aspect of not everyone's life is going to be on the same path. Everyone is taking different paths, and that's okay. Everyone gets to where they have to get to eventually at some point. Also, everyone has different goals and dreams they want to acquire in this lifetime. So what your friend might want to do to be in the fashion industry and you want to be a dental hygienist, you guys are in two different worlds, and it takes two different basically tracks to get there. You're going to be in two separate lanes. Of course, you guys can still hold your friendship and stuff like that, but you cannot compare your journey to another person's journey. And I've definitely struggled with this, and it's something that I'm still working on now, because sometimes I find myself doing that with social media. But you have to humble yourself and remember that everyone's journey is different. Some are faster than others, and some are slower than others, but for a good reason 95% of the time, because those good things are waiting for you. You just had to take steps in order to get to those places. Things take time. Like they always say, Rome was never built in a day. So you just have to take your time and give yourself grace at different ages in your life, even if you're younger or older, to not compare yourself to others in their journey. Number four is enjoy your solitude. And if you guys see my head keep going down, it's because I'm reading off of my notes of each topic and what I wanted to say about each topic. So when I say enjoy your solitude, I mean enjoying to be in your own company, enjoying to be around yourself, and enjoy, doing things by yourself. I feel like sometimes we depend so much on our friends and our partners to make us happy and make us feel like we always have to be around people all the time, when in general, you didn't start out in a relationship. You know, when you were a little kid and you played with your Barbie dolls and your toys, you were happy playing with your toys. Not obviously every child is like that, and if you grow up with siblings, you know, you weren't always alone. So I think maybe if you were an only child, maybe you can relate to that. But I wasn't an only child, but I, as a kid, loved my own solitude because I enjoyed coloring, I enjoyed listening to music on my own, not having to worry about whether, you know, to think about other people and like how it affected them. I always just did things for myself, and I've definitely had moments in my life where it has been hard to have my own solitude, but I've still done it because I know it's good for me. Like, I'll have solitude, like self-care nights, even when I lived with my significant other, and you know, spending time journaling, spending time soaking in a tub, spending time meditating and doing long meditations to clear my mind, soul, and body, because these are the things that help me, and it may be different for each and every one of you. But enjoying your solitude is very important as you get older, because you'll never be afraid to be on your own. Even when you're single, you'll be happy in your space, you'll be comfortable within yourself and your skin to be around yourself, and not have to be like, well, I have to be around, you know, these people in order to feel like I'm fulfilled. You should never allow people to make you feel that way. You should feel secure within yourself, even if it takes a while, because I know it's not something easy to overcome. But being in your own solitude is an amazing feeling once you are comfortable and get to a place of enjoying that. Number 5 is focus on yourself. When I say focus on yourself, I mean focusing on yourself and not what your friends are doing, what your significant other is doing. Obviously, in certain aspects, if things are important or it's a joint effort of you guys doing things together, then of course worry about those things. But let's say someone is going through a financial hardship and it's one of your, you know, your mutual friends. Don't make that a super big issue, a super big stressor for you, because at the end of the day, you can only be there so much for them as their friend and kind of helping them through their issues. You cannot take on so many people's issues, because you end up putting yourself on the back burner, which in the end of the day, it puts your feelings, your emotions, your mental health on a back burner, and that never is good for anyone. I definitely found myself doing that a few years ago and kind of like trying to take on everyone's issues, but not in total realizing like what I was doing to myself. And I was kept putting myself on the back burner, and essentially just like pouring into yourself is very important, because if you don't pour into yourself, who's going to pour into you? You can't expect everyone to pour into you when they have their own issues going on. So you have to make sure that that is a priority to you, and that you keep in mind those things to focus on yourself and focus on the goals you have at hand, because they're just as important as your goals that your friends have or your significant other has as well. Number 6 is you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all figured out by a certain age, or you feel like you're comparing yourself to your friends and you see their life and you think that you have to have it all figured out because they do, or your partner does, or this person in your life does. Everybody is on their own path, like I said already in the beginning of the video. And honestly, you saying those things like, well, I should have a car, I should have a home, I should have a family by 30 years old, I should be a millionaire by 30 years old. You want to have goals that are attainable and realistic, because not all the goals that everyone has can be realistic sometimes to reach by a certain age. Having goals that may be unattainable in that moment is perfectly fine to have as well, because we all have goals that we want to achieve, and sometimes those goals are just going to take longer to get to than they would with other goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think with social media like TikTok and Instagram, we compare ourselves so much to have to have certain things done by a certain age, by a certain time, because we feel like we have to be rushed to have a beautiful home, a beautiful car, have our career completely figured out, have our partner, have our wedding, have our kids, when in reality, most people by 25, by 30 do not have even a home sometimes. They may not even be in their dream career field. They may not have a boyfriend or even be married or even have kids. There's so many options nowadays to have your life certain ways that there's no rush to, you know, have everything figured out. And it should never be that way, because you're really just rushing the process. And in like the full picture of things, you might be ruining the way things should work out, because you're not taking your time, or, you know, going on the universe's time of how things should really just work out for you. I definitely think I find myself doing that from time to time, like thinking that I should be here, I should have been traveled more, or I should have certain things by now, but I cannot compare myself to other people's lives, because we're all on our different path. Like I said already, we're all on different paths that all have different timelines, so you can't compare yourself to another, or compare what someone has and their grass looks greener on their yard, but you don't know how they got there, or, you know, the journey and the struggles they had to get through to get where they are now. So you just never know, and definitely don't rush the process. Like, seriously, trust the process. As cliche and silly as that may sound, trust the process is something that is very hard and can be uncomfortable at times, but it's something you must do in order to get to where you want to be, unfortunately. And it's not a bad thing to take your time to get where you need to be. So don't rush and think that you have to have everything figured out like right away at the age of 25 or 30 just because someone else does. Number 7 is that the friends you have now you may not always have, and that's okay. The friends you have now, you may not always have them. Some people do and some people don't. And for me, I think that I've had moments in my life where I've had friends for different seasons and different reasons, and then we're not friends anymore. But it's not because we have beef, it's because like the friendship just grew out, and we grew out of each other, and you know, or we just like mutually ended the friendship, and there's nothing wrong with that. Friendships you have at 18, you may not have by the time you're 35, you're 25. You may not have those friendships because you grow out of the things that you guys like together. Maybe someone gets married, maybe someone has a kid, maybe someone moves to a different country or a different state. Those things can separate friendships, and I've had my friendships throughout the years of having friends for certain periods of time and then allowing them to, you know, we're not friends anymore. And you have to make peace with it to realize that, you know, they were in your life for a moment and now they're not, and that's okay. You know, unless you actively like wanted to end the friendship because it was toxic, or, you know, you guys just ended not on a good note. And sometimes that's going to be the case, but 95% of the time it's a mutual decision, or you naturally just organically grow out of these friendships because the person you were at that age, you're not going to stay forever. As humans, we grow and evolve and develop, and that's a normal, perfectly normal thing to do as you get older. Number 8, looking for love. When I say looking for love, I mean forcing yourself to look for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know, and then, you know, rather than allowing love to come to you naturally and organically. Don't rush it. If you feel like you don't want a boyfriend, you don't want a girlfriend, don't rush it, because the more you try to push against, the more it's going to push against the grain, and it's honestly not going to be a good thing because you're forcing, you know, these things to not naturally happen the way that they should naturally happen in nature. I think we can say we've all experienced this, at least I have, because I definitely at certain ages when I was younger would definitely force love, or just so badly want to be in a relationship that you just kind of dismissed the red flags. You kind of just did whatever it was at that time in your life to be with somebody, just to say that you're with somebody, and that's not always a good thing. It's not always a healthy thing. Be in a relationship for the right reasons, and because you both mutually like each other and can see each other growing with each other, because sometimes the people you're going to be with at 18 or 19 doesn't mean you're going to be with them forever. And there's nothing wrong with being with someone that long, because some people, I know they have high school sweethearts, or whatever the case may be, or you meet somebody in college, but things like that don't always work out, unfortunately. So you also have to be realistic with yourself, but also don't force it, and let things flow naturally. If you like somebody and they like you, and you guys want to be together, then be together, but don't force it and force somebody to get in a relationship with you, like a girl forcing a guy to be in a relationship. Don't do that because you think that's what you're supposed to do. Enjoy being single, enjoy your solitude, even when you are in a relationship, because people tend to forget that being in a relationship, they tend to neglect themselves, and that's like a whole other topic that we're not going to get into today, because I feel like that's opening Pandora's box. But you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. We're at the end of today's video. I hope you did enjoy today's video today, guys. And if you did like this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And make sure to hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload every Wednesday and Saturday. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.